he's been driving since he was 12 years old, and he's been a designated driver for his dad, you know? So I was like, okay, so now we're using the children as designated drivers? Like, what's the tea? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the tea? What is it giving? So we got little Aiden out here driving Apollo around because he can't be responsible when he's out there drinking his booze. So now we're going to put little Aiden on the hot seat, um, subjecting him to other drunk drivers. Please make that make sense, y'all. I was a little bit blown away. And she's like, so the producers say, well, does Aiden drive for you? And she's like, oh no, I don't. He didn't drive for me. He just drives me around town, this, that, and the third. I was like, that was, no, I don't know, Phaedra. You did a little bit too much on that one. So pretty much she was calling Apollo the drunk, and then she painted out that, this was an interview that I saw. So she had did an interview with the Atlanta with what's his name? Um damn. Oh my god, Young Jock. What's his name? Shoddy Red. I forgot the young lady's name, but they do like a morning show in Atlanta. And Phaedra, she tunes in every morning. She made it clear that she calls in and she gets, I think it's Miss Shanika, Young Jock, and Shouty. So she calls in, so she has a relationship with the radio. And also Porsha came Michelle and Kelli. Now they're at a restaurant. Porsha is looking fabulous. That's the photo right there. She's looking very fabulous. Okay. Hair is, look like she didn't got the gots to be spray, honey. Everything is intact. Not a hair out of place. Let's get into it. So they're all there. They meet up. K Michelle, she dressed somewhat casual. But Kelli and Porsha, of course, cancers, of course, we gon' anytime it's a gathering, baby, we dressing like we're gonna go meet the president. Okay, get into that. Now, so Kelli comes in. Portia's like, "Hey, Thelma, where's Louise? I thought that was cute." And then Bravo threw back a clip of Porsha and Kelli, on the last season, and Kelli had been married for 11 years. Porsha 11 months. Either way, it was 11. Okay, 11 years, 11 months, 11 minutes, 11 hours. It does not matter, y'all. It was still the number 11, right? But let's get into this. So, speaking of the men, rub your feet up your legs. So they're having a conversation. They're having a whole conversation. And so K Michelle, she discusses that she's gonna be having an event. So she's gonna be having an event. And you know what? Before we even move on to her event, can we get into this that piece of hair that's just right there on Kelli's forehead? That piece of hair drove me insane. I'm like, Kelli, you have on a whole scarf. Like, pin it back, wear a bang, wear a swoop, or do something. But that piece of hair right there, it was driving me insane. Okay. So whoever was on the hair, the makeup was cool. But whoever was on the hair, please don't do that no more to her. So, like I said, now we're so K Michelle, she's discussing, her performance at the AMA Awards. And, I was actually proud of her. I was really proud of her because when you talk about country music and her knowing her history and Miss Reese Palmer, just to know the history and just to know that Miss Reese Palmer, a legendary, want to give her flowers that, she's been fighting. She's been fighting for um the country music and black culture. We're the originators, and I want to say, that is so much. Us as black people, we have so much history that comes along with us, and we should all be aware of of our history when it comes to music, when it comes to action. I mean, all bases. Now that's Ms. Racy Palmer, beautiful woman, black don't crack. So yeah, she's definitely country. Yes, yes, yes. Now we're not even gonna go there. Let's stay right there. All right, so we're gonna get right here. So showdown. Okay. Porsha and Kelly get to a cordial space. Now let me take it back. Now Kelly and Porsha, they're the cordial space. They talk it out. Well, they have a moment. Porsha gets her moment because she was like, what, first of all, you wanted to get a moment at my house. That's at my mansion. That's not what it was. That's not what that were. Okay. So let me go ahead and get dolled up. Let me get the teacups. Oh my God, this is so fabulous. I want this little tea set. It's got like the little diamonds and stuff. Oh my God. But anyway, so listen. So remember, Kelly wanted to get a moment at Porsha's house. Yes, at her home, at her mansion. And so Porsha decided that she was going to get her moment at the restaurant, and she was going to let Kelly know, and she was going to register with her that I am the one. I'm the two and the three. Okay? And you can get behind me. You can jump on this team, you can jump on the winning team, or you can get behind me. She trying to break bread. She's a girl's girl. But let's get into it. So, um, when you got more closer to Shamea, Kelly, you got more toxic with me. And this is what Porsha was saying. And I can relate. The more I got close with Shamea, it was like she was an Energizer bunny. She was going to make a cut. She was pretty much moved Porsha out the way and said, "Let me have the seat." Mhm. So let's get into it. So Porsha, she discusses the BT Weekend Awards show, and Kelly allegedly slept with someone's husband. Now, Porsha said that, you slept with him, Kelly, and he changed his clothes and went to meet his wife and went to an event. So Porsha has the tea. And my thing is, when it comes to Kelly, when I think about her friend Britt, and when I think about rumors and things like that, because Britt would have said, "Well, where are the receipts?" Kelly never said where she never just got down dirty with it, like, "I'm gonna sue you," or this, that, and the third. Well, the reason why she couldn't say that is because she's getting sued by everybody in Atlanta. Clock that T. Kelly, and no shade, she's getting sued by everybody in Atlanta, honey. Capital One, honey, the landlord, you name it. And then it gets a little deeper, but follow me here. Go with me here now. Okay. So Kelly slept with a prominent person. They met on a flight, allegedly. Now, Kelly has bills to pay, if you guys did not know. Porsha, if so Porsha, tells Kelly, if we're gonna be cool, treat me how I treat you. I don't think that was much to ask. I don't think that was a hard favor. I don't think that that was a hard task. But being that Kelly wants to be Shamea's lapdog, she can't balance the two. You get what I'm saying? Kelly has a lot going on financially, on the show, off the show, but get into it. So Porsha pissed Kelly, went to the press. P needs to stop sleeping with married men. Now she did this on the after show that Bravo have. I didn't understand why she was just, and like I said, guess who was sitting right there next to her? Shamea. Kelli has something to prove to Shamea. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, Shamea, while you sitting over there skinning and grinning and kikiing and ha and I don't know what Kelly's status is, as far as like, if she wants any more kids, but I do know Gerald needs a son. Gerald needs a son. See, I'm not letting no single woman sit up and dress all sexy coming up into my home. There's gonna be a dress code. Any single woman, we ain't doing none of that. Nah, put your clothes on. And see, my thing is, and it's given, Kelli wants to be Candy. Kelli wants to be Candy because, allegedly, Shamea likes to kiss the girls in the mouth. Candy like to kiss the girls in the mouth. Porsha likes to kiss the ladies, what I'm saying, the girls in the mouth. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. But Porsha could have spoken on Kelli, you know, to what she knows is true. And she could have went down in the gutter. She could have went to the left, to the right, and did the wash machine, did the running man on her, but she chose not to. So K Michelle brings the ladies to a calm vibe, which was cool. And actually, that's why I like K Michelle, because she is a vibe. She's gonna, I mean, I feel like K Michelle, she is experienced in the reality TV world. She had some time to take off. She's had time to raise her son. She's had time to get her affairs in order. So shout out to her. Now, Kelli fake moment to please Shamina. And that's what I wrote down. I said, now, this was a moment for her to please, Shamina, try to get in Porsha's good graces so she could find out Porsha's business and run it back to Shamina so Shamina could have some reads when it's time for reunion. That's what it looked like to me. But let's get into it. So now we're going to move on to Pinky. Do I have any photos of Pinky? No, I ain't got no. Do I? Okay, so we're going to bring this photo up. All right, so we go to Pinky's house. So Pinky's over there with her husband. Husband is chilling. They have a blended family. Now, her husband previously, in this relationship, he has 2 children. And he's, he seems kind of like let's see, a Peter, Apollo, Todd. Let's see. Who else could we add in there? He's like all of them in one. The reason why I say that is because, you know, the business ventures and things like that, the creative space, the competition when it comes to the wife, the lack of empathy, the lack of sympathy, when it comes to the wife, being on a show, the pressure is on the wife because it's about the wife. The wife gets the check. Okay, let's get into it. So they have 3 kids. They had them back to back. Pinky is Jamaican. Now, like I said earlier, her style and her fashion is improving. I'm loving it. Her confessional look, her face was beat. She was dressed to a T. Miss Pinky. That's how I like to see you bring it. My Jamaican girls, y'all know how y'all show up. Don't do that. Do not do that. Okay. So then she goes on to discuss the $20 million debt. She launched a company. She bought it back in 43 days. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Okay, so her husband, he said he want to open up some corporate stores. Pinky feels like he should open up some franchises. So her husband owns Big Dave's, and we're gonna have to check Big Dave's out. I don't know if I check Big Dave's out, but then we also have to check Slutty Vegan out. Okay, I want to check those 2 restaurants out, and if you guys have checked them out, please let me know in the comments and let me know what's the best item that's on the menu that you've tasted and that you want to brag about and that I should try? All right, so Pinky is dominant, and her husband said that he humbled Pinky, and she had to toot her own horn and said, "No, you did not humble me. First and foremost, you did not humble me." And so he was like, he loves a dominant woman because the dominant woman pushes her partner, pushes them to his goals. He had to have the same motion as her. Now, when he said he had to have the same motion as her, I was like, okay, now you're on her level. Now it's a competition. No, y'all are in this together. And however she thrives in one area, you just strive to thrive that same way in another area. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like it could have been worded different. Now, K Michelle and Dr. Caston, they purchased a new home and she's revealed that she's gotten married to the realtor. The realtor seems excited and happy. And so they're going around doing the house tour and walkthrough and making sure everything is everything. 10 years they broke up. She was about to get married to another man, and we're going to hear more about that as the season goes on. So I'm preparing for that. I'm excited to hear how she did it. But you know what? When she said, she was going to get married to another man, I thought about her song Love 'Em All. Remember? I to love 'em all, I love 'em all. I need another one to get over the other one, the other one. So it's love 'em all. If y'all listen to that song, it kind of explains her personality. But anywho, let's keep going. So she gives a home tour, like I said, the renovating um, discussions. Now, her husband has a dental practice in Georgia. He's moved to Georgia and he just has to get it licensed. Now, and what I have to commend Kay on is his father has a business. So, what that tells me is business is instilled in this family. It's like a family generation. It's like, you know, once they have children, you know, he'll teach the child the business and keep it in the business. Now, one thing I can say is why K Michelle didn't get her son on board and get him into the dental business or something like that, because she did buy him a Mercedes, but then he started Ubering, and so she had got kind of pissed off with him. It was back in the tabloids back in the day, but that's another story for another day. But let's get into it. So then she starts getting into scrubs and then prints. You're in there, you're in your scrubs, your print, you're very blessed. Now, Kate Michelle, you out here advertising that your husband is blessed. Now they gonna wanna maybe slide across, or excuse me, doctor, I didn't mean to get close to you like that. Now she said that she wanted a chicken coop, and also she wants a baby. She wants a girl. She wants a mini me, and I think that that would be cute. I could see her like teaching her how to sing and her yodeling to the baby, and I mean, yeah, totally cool. Now Shamea, Kelli, and Angela, they meet. Now Lamont told Kelli her ex did an interview with Tasha K, so she's making this a big moment. Oh, why would he go to Tasha K and this, that, and the third? Well, first of all, Kelli, we're not going to act like your past is squeaky clean. He met you when you were 19. You were in college. And Kelli, let's not act like he took on the responsibility to take on you and your 2-year-old daughter at the time. He moved y'all back to Atlanta. RHOA reached out to Kelli in the past. And so her husband said, he wasn't interested. He wasn't interested, and he didn't want those cameras in his house. And so, being that financially they were not in need of money, Kelli was okay with that. But now it seems like Kelli's finances has changed. Kelli needs to be on the show. Kelli needs the show more than the show needs her. Clock that T. Now, she says that Taj K was a distasteful blog and their divorce was September of 2024. She didn't understand why he went on there. And so Angela can't stand a man that talks too much. That's a bitch. I said, oh my God, Angela. Angela, then listen, she's been taking notes. She's been watching Nene because remember, Nene told Peter he was acting like one. Uh huh. And clock this T. Cynthia's on this season. Get into that. Now, Angela said, that's bitch qualities. And so Kelli said, you know, no, Kelli didn't say nothing. So, but Kelli married him though, you know? And so Kelli says a debt is debting. She's owing rent on Nana's. She had to pay her landlord $50,000. She was $100,000 in. I guess she only paid 50,000, so she has 50,000 left over. And she's saying that's just to be open. But Kelli needs the money, like I said. Kelli needs the show more than the show needs her. Now, Shamea wants Drew and Angela to be into it. Shamesi. She does. And listen, married men comment. Now, as they're discussing, so Kelli is discussing the comment that she made about Porsha. And so, of course, Fallon and Simon. And Shamea calls Porsha along with Kelli. So Shamesi asked, are you inviting Porsha? And so to Nana's grand opening. So, Kelli says yes. She got to buy her own food though. Now, I thought that was very messy of Shamea. Shamina. Like, girl, you were doing way too much. And you are starting to look like the mean girl that Angela said that you were. And I feel like if that was my friend, yeah, we're not getting along. But the last thing I would want to do is hurt the woman whose life I was a part of. You were a part of her daughter's life. You were around her family. You were, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. You were the competition. You were the competition by yourself because Porsha was not in competition with you. But let's keep going. So Drew had a premiere. It's a movie called Run. And girl, Claudia Jordan grabbing a moment. And we gonna move right along because we're not giving it to her. So Phaedra and Angela, they end up having a conversation. The fact Phaedra denying Angela had got, Phaedra, she was denying, whatever that was. Angela had to get an understanding, and Angela ended up apologizing about the man exposing Charles cheating, and hopefully she figures out who did that, right? Now, Porsha arrives with Sway at Drew's event because she didn't go to Kelli's event. Why would she go there? Kelli is an op. She's got Shamea there. I mean, there are so many odds stacked against her. And I want to congratulate Porsha for not taking away Kelli's moment. Baby, Porsha has grown up so much. I'm loving this new growth. I'm loving this new vibe. I'm loving this new era that she's in. Let's get into it. So Drew excited Phaedra and Angela turning a new leaf, which I'm excited as well because I feel like Phaedra and Angela are better together than apart. You hear me? Drew is curious about Sway. Now, Drew is over here biting her lips. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. So yeah. Oh, but Sway is. Oh my god. Sway is handsome. I gotta admit. Why are you living my life? Look. Do y'all see Drew? Drew wants to come out the closet so bad. Oh, let me pull it up. Drew wants to come out so bad. I wish he would. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. But Sway, when I tell you Sway is very much so, I mean, hairline, crispy, smile. I mean, all black. Got the bling bling going on. Got the cross in the ear. Got a beautiful woman that just got a new rack. Okay. Come on. Shout out to Go Naked Hair. Yes. I mean, fabulous. Fabulous. Listen here, Porsha ain't got nothing. She's gonna have a date. She's gonna have a date and she's gonna register with the whole cast. Listen here, girl, while y'all sitting over here talking about the man that had come to dinner and that had gave a warm welcome and wanted to thank you all for coming out. Boom, here's another one. And another one. And another one. Okay, get into that. So Drew is curious about Sway, and then she's talking about Mike. Well, where's Mike? Porsha has experience in the lady pond. Shout out to Miss Phaedra, honey. Yes, but you know what? When she went to the okay, so we're not even here yet. We're not even there yet. All right, so here we are. So Drew wanted to know why Porsha was living Drew's life. Okay, listen. Do you see how she is? I mean, honey is like, honey, cheekbones is in place, honey. I mean, she said it. She said it, baby. Now, listen. Angela reveals Kelli ran back to Shamea and her. Porsha said, we hugged it out. We broke bread. You know what I'm saying? We were at the restaurant. I don't know why she's stripping. I don't know why she's stripping. So hold on. Who are we talking about? Okay, so get into this. So Porsha said we hugged it out. We broke bread. Porsha would not come to Nana's um, grand opening because Kelli was calling her Porsha. Shamea was calling her Porsha. And y'all, can I tell y'all that Shamea's mom, like, she should just stay home. Shamea's mom should have just stayed home. Like, there can only be one Mama Joyce. Like, Mama Joyce is the only one that can give you the shade and you be okay with it. Like, we're going to excuse Mama Joyce. And not only Mama Joyce, Aunt Bertha and the other sister, the old lady gang. Like, it's certain women figures, like mother figures, granny figures, and all that. I mean, can't nobody do it like them. Can't nobody do it like them. And that's just being honest. Clap if you like the Shamea trying to bring her mom on like Candy did, like Porsha did. Because if you guys really want to know something, Porsha had Porsha Family Matters. Porsha had spinoffs. Porsha did her thing before she went on a hiatus and enjoyed how many of her months she was married to Simon. Clock that team. But let's get into it since we're clocking team. So Porsha will not come to Nana's grand opening. She will not be in attendance. And Kelli thought she had an alliance. Well, Angela is clocking in, and that is a big difference. Angela Oakley is clocking in, honey. Listen, Mrs. Oakley, okay? Mrs. Oakley has clocked in. Mrs. Oakley has clocked in, everyone. She's got her gold fan. She's on the red carpet, giving her 1-2. Okay. Looking like Janet Jackson in the face from the side. or maybe a little Michael. Okay, let's get into it. Rest in peace. All right, so we have Pinky. She showed up. Pinky, I was feeling this outfit. I really was. This is how you do it. I was loving that outfit. Shamea, Drew. Okay. And then Shamea's mother. I was like, oh no, please. And then they brought the daddy. No. I mean, Miss Angela, Mrs. Oakley, she's looking like, what's going on? Now, Miss Angela is looking like she's looking like Cynthia a little bit. It's like changing faces. Go ahead. Okay, now she's looking like Janet Jackson. Okay. Yes. All right now. Now listen here. Now, Miss Shamea Morton's mom, you inserted yourself. I don't know if that wig was too tight or what have you, but please don't do that. Do not insert yourself. Because, baby, had it been me on that set, you would have got red. And we would have saw the Decatur come up out of Shamea, and that would have been her day of departure. Because, Shamea's from the hood, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shamea has no class, but Porsha does. And let's get into it. So Porsha sent a congratulations, Kelli. P.S. Need to talk. XOXO, Porsha Williams. I don't want to disturb your grand opening. I'll send you flowers. I'll send you grace. That's it. That's all. And that was the adult thing to do. If I can't come and act like I got some sense, let me hit up characters, flowers, and have them deliver you some. They'll get the message. And put this on the note, please. Thanks. So then now, like I said, the Drew movie premiere, that was good. Now, the day before Kelly's grand opening walkthrough, she discusses the amount of debt she's in grand opening day, the parents, Shemessi's mom, the threatening to paddle people. Like, girl, Shamea, your mom would have got cussed the fuck out. You ain't paddling nothing over here, ma'am. You better take your heavy wig and your loose dress and pump it up out of here. Okay, that's it. That's all. She said that she was gonna paddle somebody. This woman right here in all orange. The next time y'all do something, I'm a paddle. No, you not. You better bag up. You want some? No, ma'am. Let's get into it. So, K Michelle, so hold on. So Drew speaks out about sleeping sweeping things under the rug. So Shemessi pissed Angela and Phaedra is back cool. And she's really mad. Hold on. So she's really mad. So Shemessi is pissed that Angela and Phaedra, they called it a truce. They're the MVPs. They could work better together than apart. And when you talk about the seasoned women, these are seasoned women. You got Miss Cynthia Bailey, you got Phaedra, you've got and Angela. Those are the big sisters. Because Nene's not there. All right, let's get into it. So they made amends, something she can't do with Porsha. She can't make up and be cordial and protect her energy. Like Shemessi just has to be messy at all given time. She has to be mean girl spirited. Now, Pinky offers Kelli a trauma bond at the Nana's situation. A Nana's situation at the grand opening. Uh-huh. Now, did she feel the restaurant wouldn't be open long and she felt like she needed to give Kelli some advice, but people were making podcasts and lying. She didn't want to show up. So this is Kelli when she's giving her speech. Nana's Chicken is now open. So Porsha, like I said, delivered flowers to Kelli. Kelli got messy. And guess who was right there next to Kelli? Shamea. Shamea was right next to Kelli when the phone call was being discussed. Hold on, where's their photo? Shamea was right there when the phone call was being had. So Portia's on the phone with her. She's trying to keep it cordial. Kelli's trying to act like she's all that, a bag of chips and waffles and chicken. And child gonna tell Porsha that those flowers were from a broken person with some broken flowers. I thought that was just, I don't know. I just thought it was, you didn't have to get that. Be grateful. So Porsha, but like I said earlier in the conversation, when they met with K Michelle, Porsha told that, you know, Kelli has sex with a married man and Kelli is going to find her a husband. And see, I feel like that's the problem with Kelli. Stop trying to find a husband. Let a husband find you. That's probably the problem. You know, let him find you, sis. Stop going out there trying to hunt. Let the man hunt and find you. So Cynthia's eating. Cynthia calls Porsha. And Porsha said, you know, she pretty much put her money where her mouth is. Broken flowers plus a broken person. Come buy something. Porsha put her money where her mouth is with love, ho. She sent some flowers. If I needed your money and if I needed you to shop with me and I wanted you to come by and spend money, you think I'm going to be cranking it up with you? When I know that I have a grand opening? No, baby, we're going to leave this to afterwards or we're going to do this at the reunion. That's it. That's all. So Jew and Shamea, and Sarah Morton steps in to her daughter's defense. You gotta bond it in the name of Jesus. Girl, stop bringing the name of Jesus up in it when your daughter being the damn demon, when your daughter is being the devil, when your daughter is the one that need to be bound up. Bind your daughter up in her messy ass. The devil is a liar. Hell, Shamea is the liar. Shamea is the liar. Okay? Now, Drew calls Shamea out. You apologize and threaten and could have went deep. Yeah, I told you Shamea is very much so messy. She apologized on her YouTube. I'm sorry for this, that, the third. Then going to say, well, I could have went deep because you didn't mean it. And if you didn't mean it, just don't say it. Now, we're going to get to this. So now we're at K Michelle because she had her performance at the Academy of Country Music Honors. It was a live show. She performed. Apparently, she was leaking on a sofa and they dried her up. She went up, she performed, and then boom. Well, Miss Reese Palmer was in the audience. You know, she's a country music artist, a legendary country music artist as well. Next thing you know, K Michelle ended up in the hospital. Yeah, she had an infection going on and they're going to have to clean it out. She's going to have to get some reconstructive surgery. She still performed, but this is due to her butt shots in the past. Okay. So that is your recap on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I definitely enjoyed myself. Did you enjoy? Please let us know how you enjoyed down in the comments. Who are the leading ladies in this season 17? Let us know in the comments. I'm your host, Queen Tulsa. This completes and concur our broadcast. Until next time, so long.